Yes, that is the Mighty Dash, and we are retracing the exact same route we took yesterday. Namely, we are on a very short hop from San Francisco to Monterey, and mainly I'm doing it this time to prove that I'm not totally out of my mind. If you look at the last couple videos I posted, they were both of the Just Flight F27, and I can't for the life of me, I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to point the nose where I wanted to point on landing using the rudder pedals, something that you are supposed to be able to do in any airplane, period. And so as a sanity check, I'm going to try the exact same approach under the exact same conditions on the exact same scenery with a different aircraft. Now, admittedly, I was certainly not as familiar with the F-27 as I am with the Mighty Dash, but by the time I got on final, I was hand flying the airplane, and it was not working. The autopilot was disconnected. The throttles were lined up, as I later discovered. The rudder certainly moved, but on very short final, if you look at those videos, you'll see that the airplane would get into a drifting situation and you could not correct it. Now, I'm just going to show you very simply what you can do with rudder pedals, and just take out the autopilot for that and fly the airplane for a minute. And I'm going to hold the airplane wings level, and I'm going to introduce just a little bit of right rudder, keeping the plane level. And you notice our course deviates, and we point off to the right. Now I'm going to neutralize it, just over speeding a little bit. I'm going to neutralize our rudder right there, and now I'm going to bring it in the opposite direction and hold wings level. You notice the nose goes that way. That's what you're supposed to be able to do. Here we go. Now just do it a little more extremely, and we turn. You see, it's pretty simple. I don't know if this would be the most comfortable way to fly, but that is what happens when you use your rudder pedals. That is not exactly what was happening in the F-27, and it was very annoying. So we'll just descend gently back to 5,000 feet. We picked up just a little bit of altitude there. And what we'll do is we'll fly to Salinas, and then we will fly outbound on the 250 heading to intercept our localizer going outbound. So we just get ourselves into heading select mode. This altitude right there, be fine. And what we'll do is we'll tune in Salinas, which I think is 117.3. Put that in nav 2. At least I hope it's 117.3, otherwise I'm going to have to look at a chart. Wouldn't want to do that. 117.3, I think. Yes, okay, good. We're not losing our collective minds, so we'll head towards that, and then we will toggle ourselves over. Matter of fact, let's put ourselves in blue needles right now. That's going to be our localizer right there. Inbound course of 098. Actually, the airport is right about there, but we're going to fly to about here and then come out that way and intercept the localizer. The pink index mark is what's called the track made good. So if I want to fly this particular radial, say, I will keep this needle lined up so that it is on the pink index mark. Give it a second for the scenery to load. And we'll just proceed direct. Matter of fact, let's do it this way. Let's switch over to nav 2. We will not move our heading bug. We'll go direct to. Like so. And we'll set ourselves on nav, and that'll capture this, and we'll fly it. Then when we get there, which will be in just a minute or two, we'll make a right turn to 250, and we will pick it up outbound. Fly that outbound until we are 10 DME from the localizer for runway 10 right. That is the 101 freeway. And we're going to ignore this spaghetti right here because we're not going to be holding here in and we're not going to be on pink needles in any case. So we're 10 from SNS, which is Salinas, and that's reflected on the radio DME too, so we're good there. We'll just, at this point, pretend that this doesn't really exist. That is the Salinas Airport, I do believe. And that is the 101 coming through town. And that is the beginning of some beautiful farmland here, and up in these hills these days, quite a few wineries now. A little further down the way is Pinot Noir country, but there's certainly wine grown here, grapes grown here, wine made here. I've never understood why they're called wine growers. They're grape growers and wine makers, but it's a different, it's my own pet peeve. I just came over the outer market outer marker for Salinas. And so what we'll do is pop ourselves into heading select mode again. And we'll turn ourselves to 250 plus a little. And we'll spin our course around and grab that 250 radial. And we're going to intercept it. At this point, we can put ourselves back in nav mode. And there we go. Got it. Captured it. Blew through it. My own fault. Slow down a little bit to 200. Drop our altitude to 4,000. And we're basically just going to fly the exact same approach we flew the last time around in the F27. Okay. Our pumps are already on. Everything else is really good to go. I'm not really that concerned with procedures. I just want to check my own sanity. Bring our props up and bring our bleeds back. And our lights are already on, so we're good to go there. And as you can see, we have captured the VOR going outbound on the 250 radial, and you'll also see that that is the correct course here. And I believe this is a direct hold entry followed by left-hand turns, but I'm not sure. So let's find out. Shame on me for not looking in the first place. KMRY. Should know it by heart by now. I've flown it enough times. Okay. Hold entry is left turns. So actually, it's a teardrop entry. So we will fly to here, and what we'll be doing is we'll be looking for 10 DME here. And we'll put ourselves in heading mode right now. Flip over our nav source to nav 1. And there is our localizer. It's not alive yet because we're deviated from it. So we'll come in here and fly outbound for a minute and make a teardrop entry back to 098. Making a right-hand turn. There is our localizer. We are situational awareness ninjas at this point. So again, we're looking for 10 miles, start our clock, fly outbound for a minute. Okay, there's 5.8 on the DME. Notice it is not climbing up as quickly as you'd think it would, because we're not going directly away from the station. And we'll do one spin in the hold, and then we'll head on down. Alright, we're actually a little bit inside of our marker. Here comes our localizer, which we just crossed. Start our clock. We won't even fly one rotation in the hold. We'll just come back in and grab the approach. Actually, I'm going to come down to 3,000 as we do that. Pardon my cough. Fly outbound a little bit more because we're a little bit still above the glide slope. I don't want to intercept that from the bottom. And we've already flown about a minute outbound. I'm going to actually widen this a little bit because we've got ourselves a little bit inside. Give us plenty of room to re-intercept. And then I'm going to turn the heading bug to about 0.63, which is about 35 degrees intercept. I think it's 0.53. And that should get us there. And I'll slow us down below 200, drop a notch of flaps, get ourselves established on the localizer, and land the airplane. Okay, we're below 200, notch of flaps, nacho cheese. And almost as if by magic, that CDI is going to start to come in any second now. When it does, we'll hit nav and acquire the localizer. There it is, and it's got it. Turn our heading bug to runway heading, which is 098. And for a change, we're going to enjoy flying an approach. Matter of fact, let's bring our speed up just a little bit. There is our glide slope. Pretend we've been cleared to land. Our landing altitude is cool. Bleeds are on min. Lights are as we like them. Pop ourselves into approach mode, and you'll watch it capture the glide slope. I'll start to slow us down as Monterey comes into view. And glide slope captured. Going to initially bring the power down to almost flight idle so I can lose enough speed. The gear will help with that. Now I can bring in flaps 10. And now I can bring in flaps 15. And in a second, I'll bring the power back up to about 17% torque. I'm going to wait, however, till we lose a bit more speed. And it noses us up on its own. I don't have any V-speed set, but that's okay. Out comes the autopilot. We'll fly the flight director. Bring in a little bit more power now. Now notice I'm just using the rudder ever so slightly to walk the nose the way I want it. I believe we call it flying the plane. There's the outer marker. Let's stay about 1/8 of a dot high. And I'm going to use that rudder right there to correct my drift. And bring the localizer back in. Now I'm looking down, you can look up, so you can see how I'm doing here.
1,000.
Just waiting for the localizer to come in, then I'm going to ease off my left rudder. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to look up. I'm going to see we're just a little bit to the right. Hit standby on my flight director. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to see if it is the airplane or if there's something wrong with me. Bleed off a little bit more speed here.
500. Plus 100. Minimums. Minimums. 100. 50. 10.
Alright, well that was a dash landing. I flared a little bit late. But other than that, ain't nothing wrong with the plane. And only a little bit wrong with the pilot, so methinks the folks at Just Flight might have some work to do. Anyway, on that note, that's sort of how you fly an ILS approach. Not perfectly, but not too bad. And till next time, when we pick up our round-the-world journey in Aberdeen, Scotland, I'll see you next time.